Hi, again. I hadn't pressed the button. I was in full swing and I hadn't even pressed the bloody button. I'm that keen today. I'm raring to go, I must be. How are you? It's Saturday morning, in case you didn't know. And today, I'm going to talk to you about why I created my 5 pals. So you might just be brand new to me. I'm Claire. I'm the founder of the Sober Goals program, also known as the Soberholic, because I stopped drinking and I'm going to be honest, didn't think it would be as good as it is. I thought, like probably many of you do, that being sober would be boring. I would have to be sensible all the time and, I thought that all the fun would be over. And it's not true. It's not true, because your level of normal, you wake up in a good mood because you're not hungover. Even on the days where you don't have a hangover, where you feel really rotten. There's different levels, isn't there? There's some days where you feel really, really rotten because you've had you've mixed your drinks. Maybe you've got into the shots. Gin. What do they say? You shouldn't have. I can never remember the right way. I would start with maybe lager, then go on to wine, then gin. And then whatever was left. So there's different types of hangovers, isn't there? Maybe you're over all of that. Maybe now you're just drinking a little bit and you're managing your hangovers. It's fine. But you're just fed up with your life. Maybe you're fed up with him, or you're fed up with work, or you're fed up with just doing everything. Maybe you're fed up because everybody just expects so much from you. And you're just give. And you're feeling really resentful. You're tired. You're a bit tired now. Maybe you feel like you're looking around and you're thinking, well, this has been fun for the last 10 years or so, but it's starting to feel a little bit repetitive now. I'm ready for something else. I'm ready for the next chapter. I'm ready for a new challenge. I'm bored. These are the things that I was feeling inside, and I was just kind of ignoring it. I was ignoring it because I had that thing about, am I being good? And I'm going to be naughty. I just recently bought a book off Amazon called Naughty Amelia Jane, because it kept coming in my mind, that book that I must have read when I was about 10. And it's all about, it's an Enid Blyton classic. If you're the same age as me, you might know of her. Enid Blyton and Naughty Amelia Jane, right? She's a toy, she's a rag doll. And it's very similar actually to Toy Story. My boys love Toy Story, where she's the naughtiest toy in the closet, but she's not really naughty. She's just a little bit cheeky, and she's just a little bit, she's just different from the other toys in the toy closet. And because I had taken a decision to stop drinking, it was almost like I was the one who was standing out from the crowd. I was doing the opposite to what we had all been doing. I was going against that social code and saying, I don't want to do it anymore. But the reason I was doing that was because I was inspired by my good friend. Alcohol had got a hold of her. It had got a hold of her, and I didn't know whether she was drinking because our life was falling apart, or our life was falling apart because she was drinking. It was really hard at the beginning for me to unpick that. And if I'm honest, at that stage, at my Susie stage, I thought she needed a good night out and a new top. I thought that would solve the problem. I was ignorant to what it was that was in front of me, because I hadn't seen it like that. It was almost as if that happened to other people. It didn't happen. I don't know. It's really hard to explain. I hadn't really seen it happen to anyone that I loved in that way. And it frightened me, because I thought, if I'm sitting beside someone who's drinking the same drink and it's affecting her in a different way, how can I ignore that? And when I really unpicked it, my life wasn't great. My relationship was in tatters. I had a successful business on some levels, but on other levels, I had a lot of resentment because I felt like I had too much responsibility for the reward I was getting. It wasn't lighting me up. The business I had chosen 10 years earlier. I'd chosen that because I wanted to stay at home and have time with my boys when they were little. And it was 10 years on now, and I wanted something different. I needed something more for me. I wanted to be around other women who desired more from their life. And I thought, I couldn't unpick that while I was drinking. So the reason for me to stop drinking was never going to be forever. It was never with the intention of changing my life. It was to check that I could get a hold of this, because I had this friend who seemed as if she was just slipping away from us. And I was scared in case that was going to be something that would, come closer to me in my life. And my husband was drinking more than me. I always thought he was the one who should really sort this out, not me. I was fine, really. He was the one with the real problem, like the denial and just the hypocrisy, because I would only think that because my drunkenness ended in me getting put to bed. His drunkenness ended up in spending a fortune and going missing for days. So it wasn't that he was doing anything worse. It was just that the impact from the fallout of his drunkenness was worse than the impact from the fallout of my drunkenness. Because if I wasn't collapsed in bed, I would be there partying with him. So I was being a hypocrite by pointing at him and whilst drinking myself and saying, you drink too much. I had to swap from him being the enemy to the alcohol being the enemy. And the minute that I did that, everything changed. And I felt like we need to grab a hold of everything in our lives that we love. Like, what do we love to do? What do we want more of? What do I want to teach my children? I mean, they were little at the time, so it was like, get them to granny, get them to my mum's, get them to see their nana, and we'll go out on the drink. And I would be opening the door for them coming back, like, oh, hungover. And it felt like I had dropped them off 5 minutes ago. It was like over like that. That was my time. And actually the house was still a mess. The kids were back. They were probably full of sugar and shattered. I was hungover and he was missing. And would spend an absolute fortune. And that sort of thing kept happening to me. And I thought, I can't live like this. And if I'm honest, there was a lot of a knee-jerk reaction. Like, I left him at one point, we spent time apart, then we got back together. And the one thing I kept hold of for the whole time throughout that was the alcohol. And once I saw that through from a different way and thought, how about we remove the alcohol and see how we get along with that? Everything changed. Now, I hadn't know this man sober. We met and we were both drinkers, we're drunk when we met, we're drunk throughout all of our dating. So it was like a brand new world for us. It was like we were growing up together, we were moving on together. It wasn't like we were stopping doing that thing. We're going to both together stop doing that bad thing. It wasn't like that. It was like, right, we've done that to death. Can we see what else there is to do? What else? These kids are getting older. They're really fun to be around. I want to see the world through their eyes. Where do I want to go? What do I want to do? So it's not about being good. If you're trying to be good, you're doing it the wrong way. You need to start looking at it differently. Start looking at it completely differently. I totally forgot what my live was going to be about now. I'm on a roll. So today, Saturday. Oh yes, me 5 pals. I've remembered. So me 5 pals. Why did I create them? Because everybody's in a different situation. Okay? Your situation might look like mine. Your situation might might feel like it's worse. It might feel like, relationships have broken down. It might feel like your health your health is compromised through this. It could be that you need the same clarity that I needed to make decisions about your business or your job or your career or finances. Many women are worried they would like to retire, but they don't know if the money they've got is going to last. They don't know if they can afford to retire. You know, especially now there's a lot of fear, isn't there? There's so much fear going on and prices going up. And so I suppose in some ways you could be saying, Claire, I need me wine. In other ways, you could be saying, think of how much money I would save. Because I'm not going to promise that all your problems are going to go away, but they'll pop to the top and you'll be in a better position to be able to deal with them. You'll have more clarity and focus, and you'll just feel more determined, and you'll be more positive. You'll be spending time with people who can help you find creative solutions instead of just complaining and drinking and wishing things were different. Like, what are you going to do about it? Keep that question at the front of your mind. With the situation, what is bringing you discontent? It doesn't help that I can't really see myself. Oh, hang on. Ah! Blinded! That's Bera. There she is. It doesn't help. I'm losing my train of thought today. I need to drink more water. I'm dehydrated, so I am. I've stopped looking to see if I'm bestseller. It's exhausting. It's a brand new problem to have. Spending all my time going, because it updates every hour. So I was number 3. Then I went down to number 5. And then I went up to number 4. You're like, it's almost like you want to go to bed when you're like, I'm just about to go to bed, and I checked and I had gone down, and I was like, But it's only the first week, isn't it? I know there is probably quirky ways to do it so you get bestseller quicker and all of that. I haven't done that, have I? I think if I had, well, I don't know. I haven't done that. I'm here for the long time, man. I'm here for the long term. And then we're going to get reviews. Oh my God, that's going to be a brand new thing to look at. I'll be checking my reviews. I'll be checking whether I'm bestseller. I'm not getting no work done. It's exciting. And my automated emails have gone out. So if you haven't already registered for my emails, you need to get yourself to my website, register, and you'll get emails from me to motivate you and inspire you and point you to my YouTube, where you should be subscribing to that as well, because I'm aiming for 1,000 subscribers. I want to show my children that it's possible to get 1,000 subscribers. I think I've got about 92. So come on, get yourselves to YouTube, get subscribing. Instagram, I need that build up. I've been spending too much time here on Facebook, so I need to be sharing all my links. You need to catch us on all these other platforms, right? Okay? And tell all your friends as well. Oh yes, that's why I'm here, man. The 5 pals, so because we're all at different stages. So that was my situation. And yes, you're right, my husband probably, out of the two of us, he was creating the most damage, right, with his drinking. So you could have said he needed to sort it out. Well, in the past, I've sent him to AA. It's like punishment, if I'm honest. He's been, bless him, he has tried over the years different times, not really because he wanted to, but more like to save us, if that makes sense. And none of it ever worked. Never worked. Because he was drinking an addictive substance. So once you start with it, like if you had a drink last night, chances are you're going to want to have a drink today. Because it's addictive. So it's really hard if you're trying to moderate. That's when it's hard. It's like having a little bit of chocolate when there's a load of chocolate and it's your favourite chocolate. It's more about deciding that alcohol is not helping you get to where you want to be. You know, like use it more like the carrot rather than a stick. So if you've woke up this morning, you had a drink last night, and you're thinking, I was really bad, I was naughty, I was bad. Like, is there not a little element of, like, we want to be a bit bad? Do we not want to be a little bit badass? So, like, if you say to me, oh, I'm going to be good, like, that doesn't excite me. I didn't want to be good. I didn't want to be good. I just want to be me. I just want to be me. I don't want to be good or be bad and be a different Claire on a Monday and a different Claire on a Friday. I just want to be me all the time. I want to be able to make a decision and know that I feel the same way about that decision. I want to have boundaries in place. I want to know what's important to me, and that I'm surrounding myself with other people who want the same, who desire more from their life. I can't be bothered with this, like, oh, let's just pretend we're cool and pretend that, we're not bothered, because I am bothered. I don't just want a normal, like, life that's just feeling, I'm fine, yeah, I'm fine, I'll be okay. I don't want to feel like that. I want to be happy. I want the best version of me, not just for me, for my family, and to teach my kids how to have what they want from their lives. That's what I want. So I don't want to just feel like I'm fine. In any of my 5 avatars, any of those 5 pals could have continued drinking, as could I. I could have convinced myself I wasn't bad enough to quit. My situation was completely different to my friends, and that actually he was the wrong one. I could have left him and then just kept drinking, maybe found someone else, and and that just goes on and on like that, doesn't it? But instead, it's about stopping and saying, what do you want? What do you desire? And if you were drinking last night because it seemed like the thing to do, like, what were you hoping to gain from that? Are you hoping to have connection? Were you feeling like it would make you more sociable? Did you believe that wherever you were, there was no way you could have possibly endured that without numbing yourself out with alcohol? And then question, well, but why do you need to do that thing? What would you like to do with your time instead? This is your time. You only have so many, like, hours in the day and so many days on this earth. Like, what do you want to do with that time? And it's all right to not know the answers to these questions, because I didn't know. I didn't know until I started unpicking it. And there's 5 stages to go through. That's Susie's situation. She's just a bit lost. She doesn't like her job. She's miserable. She's going from one disastrous relationship to the next one and blaming everybody, everything, without looking at herself. Ollie's situation, she's got so many limiting beliefs. She knows she wants more, but she's frightened to suggest it. Her daughter started drinking and she's only like 16, and she's worried about that. Now she feels like a hypocrite. All of a sudden she's thinking, oh my God, all these years I've been getting it down my neck, and now none of the other mums are saying anything, so she doesn't want to be the only one that's going on with her daughter, because she's got a rocky relationship with her daughter as it is. So that's Ollie's situation. And she's thinking, well, I would like more for myself, but now how do I get from this identity and being so nervous and a people pleaser and not having any boundaries and carrying a lot of resentment? How do I get from that to being just who I am and making people around me just accept who I am? Or maybe you're Bessie. Bessie's drinking because she wants to be sociable. She needs loads of friends and people around her. She's got so much going on. She's Miss Sociability, social butterfly. She cannot miss a night out. She would have huge FOMO. She's at the first restaurant that's opening. She's been to the Prosecco brunches. She's got it all going on. And how does she change now? Because that's her identity. If she all of a sudden just declares that she's not drinking, who's going to invite her to the party? She is the party. It's going to kill her. So it's about her identifying, oh my God, do I tell my friends? Do I keep it a secret? What am I going to do? How do I get from here to there? And that's Bessie's situation. She's got a case study, a backstory. She's got menopausal symptoms. She doesn't know if her night sweats are cancer. Is it Is it because of the beer? Is it because of the, menopause? She doesn't even know her own body. She wants to lose weight. She's putting more weight on as the years are going by because of her tolerance for the stuff. She has to drink more of it to feel the same. And her Prosecco shizzle used to be there for all the friends. And now she's drinking it on her own in the kitchen and it's not working. So she's ready to take action. She is ready now. And maybe she sees my posts on Facebook and she jumps right in. She'll order the book. She'll devour it, won't she? And she'll tell all of her friends. You see, so it's like different stages that people might be at. Maybe you're Elsie and you've been following me for a while and you're already on the road with this and you can't wait for this wave and people to have something to point at, It's hard to convince people to join a private group, especially when they don't really know what it's about. But now there's a book that you can just say, go and have a look at this book. Go and have a look at this on YouTube. When people are asking you, wow, you look good. There's something different about you. And you go, oh, well, I've stopped drinking. Why are you an alcoholic? Well, what's the matter? Drama, drama, drama. And you just go, no. Oh, no, I just don't do it. Since the lockdown, I was probably drinking too much. Came across this girl online. She's got great hair. She turns up, puts her lipstick on for her. Cheers her up. She's got a book. It's number 3 bestseller. Get a copy. See? That's how it works. I've made it easier for this to be a new idea. And then slowly from you introducing other people to this, or you going out and meeting new people by attending things that you didn't think would, I said yesterday, the first thing that I noticed when I was walking by the river was how I started just doing a little bit every day. I started to feel more positive and I started to look around and noticed the people canoeing on the river. And at first, of course, I'd seen them before, but now I had this new level of motivation. I actually went and found out the telephone number and rang them and said, and it just so happened there was a family event going to be on the next weekend. So I went with my children. And I went myself a couple of times for the next couple of weeks and had some lovely evenings canoeing on the river with different people who I'd never met before. And it's just, I didn't keep it up. I didn't buy a canoe. I didn't win any competitions, but I went for a few sessions and I just got introduced to a different way of looking at life. And I hadn't done that before. And that introduced me to being more open when other people were talking about things. I went rock climbing and I tried aerial yoga. And again, none of it stuck. I had a great time exploring all these new ideas. I did art classes and, I learned about meditation and energy rebalancing. I learned to breathe. And I slowly got on this path and I call it my golden thread. So I would be listening to someone on a live like this that would mention a book. I would go and read the book, and just slowly I became I was just following what interests I had and becoming more like Riley, who's rebalanced. And she actually gave up to support her husband. Oh, Miss Elsie, the one who's engaging in life, her situation was she was just drinking. I think she runs her own business. Her mum has dementia, so she was relying on it because she just felt like everyone was leaning on her. She felt not heard and misunderstood. The biggest impact you can give any woman is fertile listening, just listening, letting her think her thoughts out loud. It's a powerful thing because it's not about you not knowing what you want. It's just you've not had the time. It's all blocked and numb and, you just want some time to unfold and decide what you want for yourself, what you desire, what it is you're really craving. And then we'll make the steps towards that, because none of this is rocket science and none of it is about don't sit down and look at black liver. Don't look at that and say, you really mustn't drink. You're probably going to die. We don't do that. It's all light and happy. And what would you like to see Or what would you like to do? What would you love to do with your time, your money, and your energy? What do you want to do instead? And how can we make that happen? How can we get you in the place to make that happen? Because I've changed my life many times. I closed that business that was bringing me down, but it took time. It took a long time. And I had made the decision before and gone back and changed my mind because I didn't have any real firm commitment. I mean, I'm offering my service as a sober pen pal, and you can use that in any way you want. It's not because you have to be sober. I'm sober and I'm your pen pal. I'm going to support you through this stage in your life where before you were relying on wine and maybe that hasn't been working so well. So, it's really about you can take this as far as you want. You can just buy the book and you can move on. You can go on YouTube. You can watch the videos, or you can really have my hand. I'll hold you through this process. I'm really excited to support women on their journey. And it's just really nice to be able to have somewhere to point you that I know the information's there. And if you want it, you can go and buy it for less than a bottle of wine, really. For less than a couple of bottles of wine then. Okay. But it's life-changing stuff. It's going to change your life. All right? Lippy on. I've lost my other one. Lippy on. Chaos. I'm going to the fair today. I think there's a opening thing at the restaurant on the beach. So there's singers and music and street food, and I'll be there. I won't be drinking. That never even enters my mind now, It doesn't really even enter my mind. I'm thinking about the street food. Who remembers sunflowers? Who remembers retro perfume? Ane. Retro perfume. Lily of the Valley. Boom. Take you right back. Smells take you right back, don't they? Like if you smell a perfume from an era in your life, go right back to that moment. Bye from me. Have a fab day.